Good morning. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Thank you. The webinar today is going to be on Pittsburgh Networks and our communication solution with 3CX. I'm joined by a couple of guests as well. Today you're going to see Deckard Geissler. He's going to be doing a demo of the solution. He's our Director of Sales and Marketing. We're also going to be joined by Greg Steinig of 3CX. I want to take a second to just introduce Greg. My name is David Deckard. I'm, some of you may know, the account manager here over at Pittsburgh Networks. But first off, right into a couple of points about the solution. So things that we've learned over the past year. In terms of our businesses and moving forward into the future, the importance of flexibility and pliability. Right? We want to be able to move our businesses when we're communicating, whether we're sitting at home or whether we are in the office. So the challenge that we definitely accepted for our partnership with 3CX was to offer that solution to our partners and our clients. In order to do this, what we've done is we've combined our service and what we offer our clients for managed services with a world-class software in 3CX. So to start that discussion off, I want to introduce Greg Steinig. Greg Steinig is a veteran of the U.S. Army. He has also worked with a number of different businesses. Makes him a very unique personality for this discussion because he's actually focused a lot on growing businesses and helping businesses scale and succeed. He's done that through his work with Third Degree Engineering, as well as a sales director with Siemens Company. He's been the VP of Sales and Marketing at Hybrid Coatings, and now he serves as the Vice President of Sales at 3CX. I think you'll really enjoy this presentation from Greg. He is a great personality, very humble, so I'll try not to embarrass him. But with that, Greg, I'm going to bring you in. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much. I'm really happy to be here, and I got to tell you, it's a real privilege for me to actually join in with you. PGH is a huge partner with 3CX, and you've done it for a while now, and you've represented us really well, and you've taken care of your customers really well, and we really appreciate it. So without further ado, I'm Greg Steinig, and I am the Vice President of Sales for 3CX. That kind of means I'm responsible for all the money that comes in. I'm also the only person in the leadership team that is in North America, and therefore I get stuck solving all the problems over here. So I'm kind of just the guy in North America, I guess. With on that, let's go ahead and show you 3CX. I mean, you've seen 3CX communication systems up there. And I want to talk a little bit about it. So first, I'm going to show you our agenda here real quick. And part of it I'm going to do, and then part of it Derek's going to do. But we're going to talk about 3CX and the PBX, remote working, CRM integration. And then the rest of that, web client, video conferencing, live chat, call center, Microsoft 365, Facebook, SMS, and Teams, something that Derek's going to go ahead and show you. And he's going to do a fantastic job. So a little bit about 3CX. We were founded in 2005 by Nick Gallia. We are headquartered in Cyprus. We have our software in 190 countries, and there are currently 10 million extensions attached to a 3CX PBX. And what that means is, to kind of put that in relation, last year we brought on 2 million new extensions that our partners brought on for us. Last year, Avaya and Cisco and Mitel and RingCentral combined did not bring on that many. As a matter of fact, in the 13 years of existence, RingCentral doesn't even have 2 million extensions out there. To give you an idea of the job our partners do for us, they deliver you the service, the world-class service with our software. you probably don't even know or wouldn't know that you were using 3CX. And that's cool with us because we prefer it that way. We prefer our partners doing the job for us. So you noticed our offices, right? So there's a bunch of offices there. The key one, I'm going to move my mouse here. This is headquarters, and then we're out of Tampa, which is kind of badly placed, but there are offices everywhere. I think we're in, I can't even tell you how many languages we're in, because honestly, I worry about English and French in North America. So, the rest is whatever. So, we're a channel-based company. We don't sell direct. We only sell through our partners like PGH. We have 25,000 partners worldwide and 500,000 business customers worldwide, 10 million users, 10 million extensions, like I was talking about. And our paying customers range from, say, 20 extensions or endpoints to 50,000 endpoints is what this says. That's outdated. We have a partner currently doing an install that has 100,000 endpoints right now. So we'll have to, when that's done, we'll update this slide. So with the coronavirus outbreak, your staff are likely juggling random video apps and personal cell phones. And what if you could boost customer service and make it easier for your staff by using an easy-to-use all-in-one phone system, all while saving money? With 3CX, you have a fully featured PBX system, call queues, built-in video calls, web conferencing, and more. But in addition, you can integrate website, live chat, Facebook, and SMS messages or text messages all in one system. And all of these features are remote friendly. Your team can use them from anywhere via mobile app or browser app. When I say browser app, that's really just, pull up Chrome or, whatever it is you use, Firefox. It's also open platform and fully compatible with popular IP phones and SIP trunks. Open platform does not mean open source. And some of us, and I hear it all the time, we get confused in that. And so it is not an open source software. It is just an open platform that allows multiple software, multiple hardware, multiple SIP trunks to work together. All right. You can run it on-premise or in the cloud. When I say cloud, hosting or your own private cloud. And we're the PBX solution that scales with your business and is available at a fraction of the cost of comparable software solutions. 3CX, makes it easy for you. In this, I guess, the world of lockdown, I've been traveling this year. I've been to Europe a couple times for work, and everybody, they talk about not being in lockdown, but everybody's in lockdown somewhere over there, and you never know what's going to happen here. But in today's world, everybody's got a cell phone, so why not utilize 3CX Office extensions for any iOS or Android device? We include native Android and iOS VoIP apps that are continuously updated and tested. The apps are included for free for all 3CX customers, so your team can take their Office extension with them wherever they are in the world. As well as calling, you can also chat, share files, dial into conference calls from your mobile device. 3CX Web Meeting offers clientless web conferencing and collaboration, and using HD video, your team is able to add a personal touch to remote meetings. That's like saying that if you have your mobile phone, not only can you use it to place 3CX calls, but you can send text SMS messages with 3CX calls. You can also get on a video call with somebody, all via 3CX. And all of that's on your mobile phone, and all that's free. You can share files like PDFs, Word documents, Excel spreadsheets. You can share your desktop with just a click. And you can have a online whiteboard feature can be used to collaborate interactively for brainstorming ideas. I do webinars, and all you have the whiteboard up, and I'll draw out what I'm talking about. Right? Now, I'm not a real good drawer, but I get my point across. Share screen, all of that's available. We make it easier to manage. I'm going to take a drink here. Excuse me. So we make it easier to manage all of your customer requests with just one system using our advanced queue features. We have call queues, allow calls to be queued. Agents can take calls when they're available. If agents are busy, calls are kept waiting until an agent is available. Some of your call queue options are a callback, and they enable your callers to hang up and get a callback. You just need to specify a callback prefix to trigger it. We have wrap-up time, gives the agent the specified time in seconds to enter notes onto the call record after taking a call. These are just some of the advanced features that you get with 3CX. We all know that Facebook and SMS are a must-have in today's world, and many businesses need this to survive. 3CX has made it easier for you to communicate with your customers that answer them via Facebook and SMS. Customers also have live chat with website visitors and can easily switch a call or video. What that means is, if we have an app that goes on your website and someone hits your website and they start typing in, it's a little pop-up screen down at the bottom, right? And you have a question, and they type it in, and you have that going, and I'd rather talk to somebody, and they can just click a button, and it talks directly to the person who was typing with them. And if they want to go a step further, they're going to say, I want to see what this person looks like, and then they can pull it up, and then they have a video call similar to what we're doing here. That's kind of what that means. You can know exactly who's calling before you pick up the phone. You can integrate your CRM software or help desk with 3CX. You can have a customer record open and ready and see who and when they called last. That's called a screen pop. They'll probably show you in a minute, but in fact, if you have a call like we have here, if one of our partners calls in, their record pops up in front of us. We know who's calling. We can see what we've talked about before. We have all their information totally available to us right there. Let's see. You can save your staff and impress your clients with customer service records like that. It just makes it easier to handle. The other thing is it keeps it all inside a record. So if they call, if they text, if they email, if they video chat, if they any way they contacted you, it's all kept in one customer record. So I know you probably get frustrated. I get frustrated all the time. I was talking to Frontier Fios, and I give them, here's my account information, and they go, okay, let me transfer you. And the next person, here's my account information. Oh, let me transfer you. And next, it's just, I'm like, what in the world am I giving anybody my account information for? No one seems to know it or keep it. It's not like that with 3CX. You have their account information, and if you transfer the call to somebody else, they have all your account information too. So you don't have to go through that silliness. It makes your customers happier, hopefully helps them spend more money. Remote apps. So COVID-19 caught us all unprepared for remote work. I say that it didn't catch 3CX unprepared for remote work, and it didn't catch our partners unprepared for remote work, and it didn't catch our customers unprepared for remote work. Outside of this 3CX sphere, employees and employers had to quickly adapt by using personal messaging apps to communicate. And it works to an extent, but you're giving your personal information out, your cell phone, they can reach you personally, not for business now, and your company's got a choice. They're either, paying you for your phone and you're giving all your personal information out to the whole world, or they're buying a cell phone and giving it to you. And with 3CX, it's not like that. All right. We actually have an app that installs on your phone so that your employee can put it on their phone and make calls, and it just shows that it's coming from the customer, and you'll see that in a second. But you're going to take your extension with you everywhere in the world. Now, our owner and our CEO both don't have a desk phone and they don't use a web client, and all they use is their mobile phone, partially because they're always somewhere, right? It doesn't matter where they are. The owner could be out sailing, and if he's close enough to shore, we can have a conversation. He could be in London. He could be in my office. I travel the world, and no one knows. None of my partners know where I am, and it doesn't matter because they can pick up the phone and call me, and I'll answer. All right. You can reply. Yeah.
Greg, sorry to interrupt you, but I think, just to kind of pepper in there, I think that what you're speaking to is some of the use cases, right, where our clients have previously gone over to a hosted system through 3CX, right?
Right.
The one of them really was being able to conduct business in multiple different areas, regions, but also be able to do it where there's a certain amount of privacy, where you can maintain your personal number, you can maintain that piece of your life and still have a little bit of a separation. Where I think, when COVID happened, I mean, you wanted to keep business going any way you could, so you might give out your cell phone number. You do whatever you need to do to kind of keep the conversations going. What I'm hearing you say with 3CX is that truly is sort of that centralized system where you can speak through multiple different modes of communication. You don't have to give out your cell phone, and you can keep business up and moving.
Yeah, it's Facebook messages, SMS, website messages, and telephone calls without giving up your personal information. You're exactly right.
Awesome.
So we're getting close to the end here. Our 3CX app helps your remote workforce stay engaged and available to your customers, like we were talking about Facebook and website chats. And we're also talking about taking someone from a chat maybe to a video or a web video, or it's like FaceTime, but it's not FaceTime because it's through 3CX. But you can do all of that remotely. You can transfer the calls. It denotes presence and status, and you'll never transfer a call to someone who's unavailable again. Know who's calling. We're going to talk about CRM integration. This is the this is the last topic that I'm going to cover before the demo. So you get to know exactly who's calling before you pick up the phone, because you integrate your CRM software or help desk system with 3CX. So the customer record opens. It's called a screen pop. It's ready. You can see all the information, when they called last, what you spoke about, your agent's time. They're going to save time, and they're going to press your clients. We've talked about that. They're way happier, trust me. You can click on a number to initiate a call. So you've got your CRM open, and there's the customer's number, and you don't have to dial it. You just have to click on it, and it'll put the number in, and it'll dial it for you. And it works seamlessly across those apps, making and receiving calls. I'll be honest with you, it's pretty wonderful. If you get somebody that's actually not a customer, it's somebody new, it pops up, it opens up a new record. You have the number, you can fill in who you're talking about. So that screen, we have that screen pop here, happens all the time with our CRM and also our help desk software. It'll log the record. In fact, it'll not only just log the call record inside your CRM, but you can actually have it set up to log, or I guess, save the voicemails. So, and it'll also, if you wanted it to, it could actually save the entire call record. So if you had enough space, or that's what you wanted to do, you could click on it and go back and talk to or listen to what that call was about. All right. So we also have a call flow designer, so you can build custom call flows even with your CRM. And it has AI and voice activation, all that type of stuff is in there. So you can set it up so that people can, instead of press 1 for this or whatever, they can say the number, stuff like that. And I think the last slide I share is we support, popular CRMs and help desks. and this is the one that we support. We also have an integration wizard for any RESTful AI systems that any other CRM has, and they just about all have. So PGH can probably make your CRM or your help desk work with 3CX unless it's just archaic or something, or doesn't have a RESTful API. So from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over to Derek, and he's going to go ahead and give you a demo of a lot of the things that I showed you. And I think from here, we turn it over to him. So let's see here. Stop sharing is what I'm going to do.
Thanks a lot, Greg. I appreciate everything that you talked about today. And what I'd like to do is take a few minutes to kind of show you guys what Greg was talking about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we'll go from there. Okay, so the great thing about 3CX is it's easy, as David mentioned. It's an extremely easy application, especially for end users. Why do I say that? It all starts with an email, so it's a pretty nice process. So as a 3CX user, when I get my my extension built, what happens is we send out a welcome email, and essentially this is the welcome email that comes. Okay, the user is going to get a quick getting started guide. They'll get if they're using a Windows computer, they have the option of having a client that they can download, and they also have an attachment of a QR code. The QR code is excellent. It actually is the easiest thing to use because it allows us to actually spin up either our Android or our iOS device with the 3CX app by just pointing our 3CX app to the QR code, and it builds your extension within seconds. It's really wild, and again, back to just ease of use, it's extremely easy to use. So as I go down this email, this is where kind of the beef or the bulk of the importance is, right? So what I'm going to see first is my extension details. So we actually have 3CX set up for us. So anytime a new employee comes in, we build their Office 365 email account. And once that email account is built, it automatically creates a 3CX account for those users. And when it does that, it creates an extension number, and it creates their PIN automatically. So that's what you're seeing right now. So as a user, I'm extension 0008, and my PIN is 9144 so that I can check voicemail. If I had a physical phone, I would dial 9999 to check voicemail, dial the PIN, there I go. But really, some of the more powerful portion of this is the web client. So as I had mentioned, there's a physical client that you can download on a Windows device. But the real beauty of this is the ability to just, as long as I have a browser and internet access, I have the ability to make and take calls. So what I also received here is I got my login credentials. So that's my username and password. And really, all I need to do is click on this web link right here. So as I click on this web link, it's going to go in. I've already have my information saved inside of my password manager. So, but if I didn't, I would have to use my username and password and log in. Again, once you do that, once you go in, I do recommend that you replace your credentials with new credentials, right? Don't want to use the ones that you already have. In order to do that, I'm just going to go up here to my my avatar picture, if you will. As you can see, I have our PGH Networks logo here, but I can actually set any picture for my background image of me, right? As you can see, a lot of my users in our company, some are using regular pictures, some of them have funny memes or GIFs, so you can really set it to anything that you want. And if I wanted to change my password, simply all I do is I click on my avatar picture up here, and I can click on change password. If I want to change my profile image, I can change my profile image. I have the QR code right here if I needed to basically scan my QR code to get in my iOS or Android app. And then I have there's some settings here that I can make a change to. So the screen that I'm on right now is pretty powerful. This is the people screen. As you can see, the 3CX app is really designed like most CRM applications. Starts on the left-hand side, you pick what you want on the left-hand side, and it works its way to the right. So it's a very straightforward application. It's very much like any other Microsoft-based applications that you're used to. So these are my people. So people means anybody that's associated to my PBX or my system. Okay, so these are all my extensions essentially. As I move over, I've got groups and I've got favorites. So right now I'm in the all group, but you can actually customize groups. And groups are basically viewable groups. So it's maybe you have a sales team and a service team or a marketing team. You can set all these different groups. You can be a member of multiple groups at a time. So it's pretty nice. And additionally, I have my favorites. So maybe I have a company of 500 people and it's just, I only have certain people that I deal with on an ongoing basis. I can simply set them and add them as a favorite. And I'll show you what that looks like right now. So as I go a little bit further in, I have my employees or my users, okay? And essentially this application, this is my phone. This is my actual phone in a browser. It's very straightforward. This is all the call control that I need to handle right in my browser. I can have a Bluetooth headset. I can use the speakers on my computer. Whatever the case may be, I have access to collaborate and communicate with both employees and also clients or external parties. So internally, this application gives me the ability to have, I can communicate with them, but I also have the ability to see presence. So as I can see here, as I look at these user profiles, I can, in the bottom right-hand corner, I see these little dots. And these little dots basically show the presence of what's going on for that specific employee. Green means that they're available. Yellow means that they're on a call. If they were in red, it might mean do not disturb or they're on vacation. These are all very customizable. They can be customizable on an individual user, or we can set them as a company-wide presence requirement. So as I drill into each one of these employees or each one of these extensions, as you can see, I can do a number of things. If I want to call somebody, I hit the phone. If I want to have a quick video call with somebody, I hit the video. If I want to chat with somebody, I can chat with them right in the app. I have the ability to spin up a quick web meeting. And then I have also add to favorites. So simply all I want to do if I want to add to favorites, I click on this button. It's going to set the star and it's going to darken the star. I go to my favorites and you can see that he's added to my favorites. Pretty straightforward. If I go back into here, you can see I also can intercom. I can send an email directly through the application, or I can leave a voicemail directly within that user's extension. So it's pretty nice, very, very functional, and very easy to use. As I drill down a little further, I also have contacts. And as Greg had mentioned, there's a lot of integrations that come with 3CX. Inherently built in, right? So there's CRM integrations. So they have direct integrations with most of your large CRMs, Salesforce, Microsoft Dynamics. There's probably 15 or so that have direct integrations. Plus, they generally can integrate with just about any CRM. If you're just looking for things like Screen Pop and Click to Dial, there are some additional functionality features that are built in with some of those direct integrations, but if you're just looking for some basic functionality, I need to pull contacts, I need to screen pop, I need to do click to dial, that is pretty much capable on any system that supports an open API. So as I drill down here, I can look at all contacts, and I have contacts broken out into two different groups. I've got company contacts and personal contacts. Okay, so my personal contacts are just for me, right? So that's going to be anything that I want to sync from Outlook, anything that I want to sync from. If I download the app onto my cell phone, I have the ability to basically sync to my contacts within my cell phone if I'd like, or I can add personal contacts right by just hitting the plus sign and creating a new contact and adding them that way. From a company standpoint, these are going to be any contacts that are located within 3CX already. So those are things that we have already populated into the system, which we can do on the front side as we're deploying. Anything that's going to come from the CRM that you're working on, or there's a couple other ways that we can actually implement or add contacts into the system. I think we can do it through global address books and a few other different ways, but a lot of different capability there. Understanding that corporate company contacts are contacts that everybody in the system can see. Personal contacts are just for you. So even though that you're allowing your contacts to be integrated in the system, that's just contacts for you. So not everybody in the company are going to have access to your contacts. One thing I do want to show you is this really nifty search bar up here. So as we're talking about people and contacts, this thing you can search for literally anything and it's going to find it. So the more things that you integrate with, the easier it is for searching. So as I start typing something, it's going to search all of these different applications for these contacts. So let's say, for instance, I want to type Dave. So Dave is on the call today. If I type Dave, I'm going to get Dave Deckard right here. So he's extension 0024. That's his extension for 3CX. Oh, you know what? Here's Dave right here. This is his cell phone number. And then as I scroll down, I'm going to see all the different Daves that are available and all the different applications that I've integrated to. So it is a hugely powerful search application, and it makes it so everything is one click away and it's all in a single application. Makes it super simple for your end users. As I drill down a little bit further, I go into chat. So yes, we do have chat capabilities. So as I had mentioned to you, when I go up into people, I can simply click right here and I can say, hey, I want to chat with somebody, right? So that's internally chatting, that's user to user within the system. I also have a number of other ways that I can chat. As you can see today, I did send myself a text message. So we do have the ability to integrate SMS into the system as well. Why do we do that? So texting is one of those things where you tend to use your personal device. Maybe you're tired of using your personal device for communication and you don't want to give out your personal cell phone number, but texting is still a very valid way to do business. No problem. We can essentially put SMS functionality inside of the system, and as we're texting people, it's going to text a business phone number and it's going to pop in to the browser application and then also into any of the other apps that you're using, like the 3CX app for iOS or Android. It makes it so that all business conversations are controlled and managed within one application versus having to manage them through different avenues or different, multiple different types of devices. It's really, really beneficial. In addition, which I do not have this set up today, but I also have the ability that I can do Facebook messaging and also I can do live chat, so web live chat. So it's supported on things like WordPress, I believe Joomla, and a few of the other website type solutions. So you have the ability that you can essentially set up a web chat, a live web chat. So if you're using it for customer service purposes, essentially, somebody can go on your website, they can chat with you, and it's going to pop into this 3CX application. We can set it so it pops into a single person, or we can set it so it pops into a group of people so that they can answer the chat. We can also queue those chats just like we could queue phone calls. So for call centers, it can be hugely beneficial. So there's a ton of different ways that you can communicate with people and collaborate. As I drill down a little bit further, we've got call history. There's, it's pretty standard. You got your inbound, you got your outbound, you got your missed, you got your abandoned. Voicemail. So voicemail is pretty cool. I have the ability, if I want to transcribe voicemails, I can transcribe them as well. So as they pop in, I can also set voicemail to just send as an email as well. So if I just want to get voicemail sent to my 365 account or my Gmail account or what have you, I can set it up so that voicemail just gets sent, listen to it as a WAV file, or I can transcribe it. I can also check my voicemails right through my iOS or Android app as well. So pretty powerful. Conferencing, I have the ability to do audio and video conferencing. It's you know, I can schedule it right through here. So basically I can set it to audio or video. I can type when I want to do it, if I want to do it now or later. If it's later, I can set the date and time. I can set the subject if I want to put notes in, and then essentially I pick the calendar that I want to assign it to. And what it's going to do, it's going to send a calendar invite to my calendar, and then I assign the contacts within my calendar and send them away. Away I go. It's very straightforward. From a web meeting standpoint, just want to show you what it looks like. It's very similar to your Microsoft Teams or a lot of your other applications. Cisco WebEx gives you the ability that I can send out a video bridge to anybody that I want. I can do screen sharing. I can do really anything that I need to do right through this application. I do not need to be an owner of 3CX in order to work with this. So that's one of the big differentiators from some of the other hosted platforms. I do not need to own 3CX in order to basically send this link out and have somebody else join that link, right? As long as they have a browser and they have internet access, I send the link out to them and it's going to turn their browser into a video call. So it's hugely, hugely beneficial. So that's generally the big ticket items for most clients. As Greg had mentioned, there's a lot of call center functionality or contact center functionality built into this solution. And what we're looking at right here is a switchboard. They call it the switchboard. It can be used by receptionists, but it also can be used by supervisors within a contact center. So we do have the ability to set up queuing. And what is queuing? So queuing is the ability to basically have calls ring in and then be assigned based on specific reasonings, right? So maybe you have skills-based. You want to set up specific skills of different agents. So for you contact center people, you understand what skills-based routing is. We have the ability to turn on skills-based routing. We have the ability to route calls based on, time profiles or capability or longest waiting or last in first out, or a number of different ways that we can set up contact center type functionality within the system. And I can set up a number of different call queues. So as you can see right here within this switchboard, right now I have this 8008 project team. So I am currently a member of the project team. As I look right here, I'm the only one logged into the project team right now. Everyone else is logged out. If I went ahead and I called into the project team, it would ring my extension. And if I didn't answer it, we have the ability to route it to somebody else if necessary. So maybe I route it to the receptionist, maybe I route it to somewhere else. Or additionally, from a skill standpoint, maybe I'm a skill level 1 within the contact center and I have a skill level 2, 3, 4, and 5. I can go up to 5 levels of skills within a specific call queue, and essentially route that call based on those skill levels. For you contact center folks, you guys fully understand what I'm talking about. It can get kind of granular. So as you can see though, as a user, I have the ability to see, who's in waiting, who's currently being serviced, how many calls have been abandoned, what was our longest wait time, our average wait time, average talking time, et cetera, et cetera. So it is pretty powerful. I also have the ability that I can set up a wallboard for our supervisors, or if I want to, basically push this out onto a screen or a TV. It can be pretty powerful for, for your contact center folks. And again, it's built right in. So it is. Yes.
Can I interrupt you a second?
Sure.
You've got a question, and it is about does the online meeting work with Teams at all? And would we still need Teams? That was their question, and I'm sure that you can handle that.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a preference, to be honest. So we don't ever tell somebody they should replace an application that they're already using. If you're comfortable with Teams, Teams is an absolutely fantastic solution. But for those customers that are currently not using Teams and they're not comfortable with any other type of application. This is an application that's inherently built into the solution. So we do recommend go ahead and take advantage of it. Kick the tires on it. See if you like it. But if you are already using a solution or you have one in place today and you're comfortable with it, perhaps just continue to use it. If you need this in a pinch, it could be beneficial. But all in all, I would say, it's customer preference.
Something that's interesting about that is that if a customer prefers Teams, they can have Teams, but they don't want to spend all the money that it costs to use Teams. 3CX integrates natively with Teams. In fact, that's what I use here. And so you can make your calls very inexpensively through Teams integrated with 3CX and continue to use your team meeting or your team chat or any of the team functions that you like. And that comes out, that integration is going to fall Friday. So the version 18 will come out of beta and will land on Friday, and everybody in the world will be able to pay less for telephony and still use Teams if they want. Well, I'll be quiet and move on. Put myself on mute.
Worlds, right?
I think if I can jump in there too, Greg, Derek, I think one of the things just to emphasize is that a lot of these features that you're talking about, everything really theoretically, if I just wanted to work straight from my laptop and I want to just work right out of this one centralized system, I can do that. Like everything that I have that I need is effectively on that left-hand navigation bar, correct?
Yeah.
Not missing anything here? Okay. That's awesome.
No, it can be you're all in everything, or you can pick and choose your poison, right? The key to this is we give you the flexibility to use what you want and pick and choose what you need for your business. Additionally, we make it easy from the standpoint of, look, we're going to send you guys a link. That email is going to give you all the power that you need as an end user to set yourself up with your device. And if you're the type of user that wants a phone, great. Pick the phone that you want and we'll implement it, right? We tend to use specific types of phones, but we have a lot of flexibility when it comes to different types of handsets. So we're very flexible. It's in the solution itself. We make it easy from a billing standpoint, right? We give you a single payment based on the number of extensions that you have, and that payment goes up or down based on those extensions if you grow or you shrink as a company. It's pretty straightforward, and we can make this extremely detailed as far as the way that the solution functions. I have the ability to set up all these different call flows. I can do, tons of different hunt groups. I can have 30 different call queues if I want. I can have 5 levels of skills and, get super detailed in contact center. I can do web chat. I can do SMS. I can, have everybody have their own DID. I can have cell phones. I can have Macs or Windows or, just a ton of different ways that we can make sure that you guys are being contacted and keeping everything in place. It's all built in and it's all there. And the greatest thing about it is for that single price, you're getting it all, plus you're getting the support, you're getting the management, and you're getting that, that feeling of knowing that you don't have to worry about if something happens to your building or your power or anything that you're going to be out of service, right? It's being hosted somewhere else. As long as you have this, you're always in communication. So I think that's hugely powerful and hugely beneficial from a communication type solution. In the past, it was tricky, right? You had your PBX that you had to pay for, and it was normally a project. So, you were $20,000 into a project for a PBX. Then you had your maintenance on that PBX. Let's just call it a couple $100 a month. Plus you are paying all your phone bills, so you needed a PRI or you needed some sort of circuit in order to make it work, right? So you had a few $400 or $500. So you had 3, 4, 5 bills that you are already dealing with. We're collapsing this down into one, and we're simplifying the process, and we're making it easy for your end users to basically use whatever device they want to communicate. So hopefully that all makes sense. I wanted to make this a pretty quick demo. For anybody that wants to see a little bit more detailed demo, please reach out to us. I would love to demo this in detail with anybody that wants to do it. And on that, I'm good. I'm done. That's the demo for me.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Derek, for doing that demo. We definitely truly do appreciate it. Well done. I do want to first off, before we go into some of the commonly asked questions, or discuss some of the points, and of course we don't want to forget the wheel names, because everybody likes a little bit of gear, and we got some gear to give away. So before we do get into that, though, I do want to emphasize a couple things. First off, thank you, Greg. Much appreciated. Great partner, and I really do appreciate it. Derek, great demo, and thank you very much. Also,
yeah, you're a superstar. You're a superstar.
Yeah, we have Nicole in the background there too. Wouldn't be pushing all the buttons, making sure that everything happens and happens well. The thing I want to emphasize before we get into the wheel names, I'm going to make y'all wait just one more minute. The one thing that I want to get into real quickly is that, like, to wrap everything up, this is a solution that you could describe as all-in-one anywhere. Just what do you need? And it's really based on preference. I have clients that have used this that have a call center, and I have clients that have used this that are very, very small organizations. And so you have the ability to preference. Do you want to chat? Do you like video conference, texting? As far as devices, would you rather, hey, look, I just want to use my mobile phone. I don't want anything complicated. Or do you want to use a handset? Or I want something centralized right through my laptop. I want to use my earbuds. I want to make those phone calls. I want to go through my CRM. I just don't want to have to think. I want everything in one place. And by the way, I want to be able to move it from the office to the home to wherever it is that I want to conduct my business. So I think those are some of the really important points, that you have that ultimate flexibility, integration, and then you have a preference. You can get really deep in the weeds, or you can just, if you're like me, you just want to make phone calls, you just want to reach out to your clients, and you want to be able to do it quickly and easily without necessarily having to give out your cell phone number. So some commonly asked questions, process. I think Derek had actually touched on some of that, right? We walk you through the process. We've been doing this for quite some time. We're going to give you a little bit of a heads up as far as what's going to be coming. And we actually have individuals within our building that are kind of walk you through each step along the way, looking for different ways to implement this. One of the other questions, can I retain my numbers? Yes, you can. And that's something that PGH will help you with, right? We'll actually help walk you through the porting process. You don't have to sacrifice those numbers. In terms of handsets, maybe you are a business that prefers handsets. Okay, great, no problem. Is there just one flavor, or can I look at different models and choose what makes the most sense to me? Pretty loaded question, right? I'm sure you can predict I'm going to say different models, right? And we can walk you through, again, the reporting. Am I going to be able to report? Can I actually, listen into calls or help coach somebody along as a supervisor? Absolutely. All those features and functionalities are there. Lastly, who supports this, right? Derek had touched in on that as well. PGH Networks will support this, right? So you have something that's very reliable. We're here for you if we have to send somebody out, or we can actually just simply do it. This is actually a system that we can troubleshoot and help support remotely, right? So you're not going to have to sit there and wait for somebody to come out. In most cases, we can take care of things just by calling into our help desk.
And Dave, I would also like to mention that, we're offering up full 24-hour support, right? But if you're the type of company, maybe contact centers specifically, right? You like to have a little bit of management. You want to have that capability, that flexibility to manage what you want to manage, and then throw it over the fence when you're having a problem and you don't know how to fix it. That's okay. We're going to give you full access to the back administration of the system. You can do whatever you're comfortable doing, and we'll take it from there, right? So it's not a a single flavor for everyone, right? It's pick and choose. We'll work with you the best way that fits your business needs.
Awesome. No, thanks for that, Derek. I appreciate it. And just kind of speaks more to the theme, right? What are your preferences and the flexibility that you need? So everyone here has been super gracious. We really appreciate taking time out of your day to spend some time with us and with Greg and with Derek. So I'm not going to stall out anymore here. We have a Nintendo Switch giveaway today. So this is exciting. I kind of wish I could have dove into this. I think the last video game system that I mastered, if you can't tell, had a joystick and a red button. So this is super cool. And let's go ahead and do the Wheel of Names. All right, it's not as exciting. I know Derek was looking to see
Wheel
of Names, but there it is. All right, and here we go. And Brendan Gavin, congratulations. Well done, sir. You now have a Switch, or one of your younger family members has a Switch. I don't know who's gonna keep it, but at any rate, I'll leave that part up to you. Thank you, everybody, for attending. Really do appreciate it. And everyone at PGH, thank you for making this happen. And of course, last but not least, Greg, thank you for joining us.